Good evening there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brandon Morvillius. Alongside with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy here on the WHS Network. On YouTube.com, we have Lady Raider Volleyball coming your way here this evening from Madison Grant High School as your 10-2 Wapahani Raiders take on the 5-8 Madison Grant Lady Argylls. Glad to have you all with us here this evening. We'll get right into things here with our Raiders Live, presented by B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law. Wapahani got the victory last night in a big conference win over Shenandoah to continue their hot start to the conference season. Now 4-0 on the year is Wapahani, which is a fantastic start. You know, you still have some games coming up. I think we have roughly 5-6 more games left in conference play, but still a strong start to the season for us in our conference. But now you come into tonight's game against a Madison Grant Lady Argyle team that, in recent years, this has been really a battle between two extremely good volleyball programs. Now, some might say, well, Madison Grant isn't quite there anymore. They're 5-8. All that gibberish and nonsense stuff. They're still going to come out here. They're going to be ready to play. They're on their home court in front of their home fans. They're going to be ready to play here tonight. They know, how good Wapahani's been so far this year. And we've had some good games. We've had some bad games as well, just like anybody does. But, they're coming out here to knock your Lady Raiders off here tonight. But hopefully Wapahani can make sure that doesn't happen. And it all really starts, from the very get-go with service pressure. You can never say too much about that. The importance and the essence of being able to go out there and effectively put a lot of pressure on the defense right from the get-go with your serve, and then just keep them on their heels the whole entire game. Don't let them get any kind of comfortability whatsoever, and be able to go out here and execute a game plan. And not only that, but, I always talk about you got to be able to do every facet of the game correctly. Well, that's, that holds true for every single ball game. In order to win, if you're going to win a ball game, you got to be able to do everything correctly. You got to be able to pass. You got to be able to set. You got to be able to hit. You got to be able to serve. You got to be able to communicate. The list can go on and on. There's so much that goes into it other than just hitting a volleyball and so on and so forth, and running back and forth and trying to chase after. There's much more to it than just that. And obviously the hard work that goes into it, you see that out here on the court. The practice time that you put in the gym every day when you're not having a game, and even during the game, you definitely exert a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of skill, and like I said, a lot of athleticism to be able to do what they do out here. So, as long as we're able to do what we have to do, and essentially play with some common sense. A lot of times, that doesn't always work out for teams. Just going out here and playing the game the right way. Things happen, but you got to stick to the basics. You got to make sure and do the basics correctly, and hopefully everything else just kind of falls into place. But Madison Grant, like I said, they're they might not be quite the team and the program that they might have had, but that doesn't mean that they still can't go out here and play like it here tonight. So Wapahani has got to bring their A game. They've got to be ready to play, and they've got to start from the get-go and get off to a good start, because last night, if you can remember, folks, that didn't happen for us. We got off to a bad start all 3 sets last night. Luckily, about 4 or 5 points in there, we started playing better and started getting a roll or getting on a roll, things like that, and finding some confidence in ourselves. And not only that, but we just, we never gave in and we never gave up. And that's so important, especially in big games, that when you find yourself down, you don't want to put yourself out. You need to find a way to claw your way back into it, and so on and so forth. And that's what we was able to do, and that's why we was able to win last night. So we're hoping that we get off to a much better start here this evening. and hopefully ride that ship all the way home and get us a good victory here over a good Madison Grant Lady Argyle volleyball team. Now, again, we'll be also back at it tomorrow night. Again, 3 games in 3 nights. We'll be back at home tomorrow night for another conference game against Randolph Southern. So make sure to watch us live on the air for that one coming up tomorrow night right around 7 o'clock. And then also Saturday, we'll be back at home against the Southwood Lady Knights. That will be, I think, another 7 o'clock start time there Saturday evening. So just some upcoming games to really look forward to here, folks. And again, we do appreciate all you for joining us, spending your Wednesday night with us. And hopefully we'll be able to have a great broadcast and a great game here for us and a Raider victory. So I think that sounds pretty good. So, folks, we'll go ahead and step aside here for a break. This has been our Raiders Live pregame presented by B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law. We'll be back here with the national anthem and then rosters for both teams. Again, for tonight's game between your Wapahani Lady Raiders and the Madison Grant Lady Argylls.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
All righty, welcome back again here, folks. Brandon Morvilles alongside with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. So we'll take a look here at tonight's rosters. First for your Wapahani Lady Raiders. You got number 4, Haven Gates. Number 5, Emily Stewart. Number 6, Estella Davis. Number 7, Sarah Orm. Number 8, Allison Stewart. Number 9, Mallory Summers. Number 11, Emma Shuck. Number 12, Cameron Curry. Number 13, Maddie Webb. Number 15, Layla Lee. Number 16, Olivia Smith. And number 17, Cadence Brewer. The Lady Raiders coached by Jared Richardson, assisted by Jenna Easton and Katina Nichols. Now here's the roster for the Madison and Grant Lady Argylls. You got number 1, Esme Turner. Number 2, Morgan Conliffe. Number 3, Maya Stewart. Number 4, Mallory Stanley. Number 5, Brooke Butcher. Number 6, Emma Brummett. Number 7, Grace Holmberg. Number 8, Tori Hyatt. Number 9, Katie Geringer. Number 10, Sydney Wilson. Number 12, Kayla Comer. Number 13, Carly Bramble. Number 15, McKenna Luger. Number 16, Gabrielle Rudy. And number 18, Sadie Wilson. The Lady Argylls are coached by Bob Holloway, assisted by Kayla Junk, Brooke Hull, and Jessica Hull.
Number 9, Katie.
So again, that's tonight's
number 12, Kayla
rosters.
Homer. Number 15, McKenna Luger.
Again, we would like to thank some of our sponsors here this evening. Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC dealership, owned by Randy Stoops. They're located at 4055 West Clare Lane in Muncie, Indiana. Stoops has a wide variety of brand new and pre-owned vehicles of quality brand names. So if you have an interest in a vehicle, like to know more information about one, contact Stoops at 765-288-1903, and also visit their online website at stoopsauto.com. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. They're also open Saturday from 8 to 4. So special thanks there to Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC dealership. Stoops is driven to be the best. So again, a little bit of a different camera view for us here this evening. Usually we're a little bit further up in the stands and right down the middle. Tonight, not so much. We are literally in on the action. Might as well be out there playing on the court. To be quite honest with you, we're only about a seat in off the court there. Yeah, a row off the court, I guess I should say, not a seat. But nevertheless, we will definitely be up close and personal here this evening. So we will definitely try to get everything we possibly can. And obviously, Redbeard does what he does best, and we'll see how things go over there. I'm all good. It's him that's probably going to have a little bit of a tougher time making sure that we're not making people seasick out there. So here we go. We'll start things off here. Number 6, Emma Brummett back to serve for the Lady Argylls. Gates will dig it out, set up to Summers. And that's going to be in play to get this off and rolling here for your Wapahani Lady Raiders. So a quick 1-0 lead here for Wapahani. We'll see Mallory Summers back to serve. Nice one right there. That was dug out by number 15, Luger. Gates will dig it out. Summers close to the line as Emma Shuck will get it over. Set this time around to Comer. Summers back over here to Stewart this time and finds some open real estate as it's now 2-0 in favor here of Wapahani. The junior varsity team had a very successful night here on the court. Wapahani won that one in straight sets rather handily. Ended up being 25-14, 25-16. So we're hoping to keep that trend moving right along here for us at tonight's varsity game. Orm lays out for it, but unable to get to it in time as Lady Argylls will get on the board, make it 3-1 here. We'll see number 13, Carly Bramble, now in the ball game and back to serve for Madison Grant. Gates with the dig. Summers will set it up, and Shuck will get it back over. Nice hustle from Summers. Chain of reaction going on right there. There's Gates. Set to Davis. Blocked again, but right there to get it back over. Miscommunication on Madison Grant's behalf. Set this time again to Stewart. Way to keep it up there as number 9, Geringer, will get it over. Set over the net. Here we go. Stewart will once again get it back over. Set over the net. There's Summers laying out for it. Now Orm on the attack. And this is a nice little rally point there. Nice hustle by Gates, but that one's going to land in the stands. So an ace for Bramble. And now we're tied here at 3. And that was served well out of bounds. So a 4-3 Wapahani lead as we'll see number 11, Emma Shuck, back to serve. Set up by Butcher. And Orm mishandled that one, as that will be in there for a kill for the Argylls. We'll see Olivia Smith back in for Wapahani for Emma Shuck. And now back to serve will be number 9, Katie Geringer. Gates digs it. Summers will set it up to Orm.
Side-out Raiders now serving for Wapahani, number 6.
5-4 lead now for the Raiders. Stella Davis back to serve. Cadence Brewer now in the ball game for the first time of the night here for Wapahani. And more miscommunication by Madison Grant, already the second time around here. Nice serve right there from Estella Davis. Dug out there, set up by Butcher. Nice block there by Brewer. And again, hit out of bounds, this time by Geringer. Or Geringer. Geringer, somewhere around in there. Butcher with the setup, put down by Stewart, but a nice block right there. Here's Davis with a dig. Summers will set it up to Allison Stewart, as that one will be dug, but passed out of bounds, as the Raiders will now expand that lead to 5. And now a timeout taken here by Madison Grant. We'll go ahead and take a timeout here with them. This will be our Jones Auto Body game break. Again, the Raiders lead at 9-4 here in set number 1.
The game starts at 6 p.m.
All righty, welcome back after the timeout here, folks. I'd like to thank some more of our sponsors here this evening. Tom Cherry Mufflers, located at 321 West 8th Street in Muncie, Indiana. Since 1946, Tom Cherry Mufflers has taken care of your exhaust, brakes, shocks, struts, and mufflers. If you need them to take a look at your vehicle there, you can contact them there at 765-289-4116. Not necessarily great way to come out of the timeout right there, a serving error. Now a 9-5 ball game. Brewer with the dig, set up to Orm. Handled there by Butcher. And hit into the net by Gehringer.
Now serving for Wapahani, number 8, Allison Stewart.
So Allison Stewart back to serve. Set up that time. That was Luger on the attack. Now Brewer for Wapahani, dug out again, tipped over by Butcher. Stewart sets it to Orm. And in there, sneaks in the back row. So a well-placed ball right there by Sarah Orm as the Raiders now lead at 11-5. Great job right there. Summers executed that as about as perfect as you can. A horrible pass right over the top of the net. Summers just sets it right over where the defense wasn't. Nicely done. And another one well executed. All about court recognition. Where is the defenders? You want to hit it where they're not, obviously. And that's exactly what Mallory Summers just did right there. And that will be an ace this time now for Allison Stewart. And the woes now continue for the Lady Argylls. Floater served by Stewart. Set up that time. That was to number 15, Luger. Now Orm back on the attack for Wapahani. So it was a good block, but Summers was right there on the other end of it and was able to spike that one down. And again, another kill for Mallory Summers as Wapahani now pushes their lead to double digits, 15-5. Very nice serve there by Stewart. And tipped it right over in the no man's land, or I guess in this case, no woman's land.
Serving number 5, Brooke Butcher.
So we'll see Brooke Butcher back to serve. Tipped over by Summers. And hit into the net. That was number 12, Comer.
Into the game for the Raiders, number 11.
So back in comes Emma Shuck for the Raiders. Sarah Orm now back to serve. As again, Wapahani leads at 16-6 here in the opening set of tonight's ball game. That's going to be hit out of bounds. And all right, well, actually, no, they're going to call a tip. So that will make it 16-7. I really couldn't tell if that was tipped or not. It didn't look like it, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't. As that was mistimed there. Miscue there for the Raiders. Gates with the dig. Stewart sets it to Summers and absolutely unleashes the beast on that one.
Raiders. Now serving for Wapahani, number 4, Hayden Gates.
So Davis back in for Wapahani. Gates back to serve. That'll be dug out and set up to number 9, Gehringer. Stewart now to Summers. Tips it over the net. And again, another well-executed shot by Mallory Summers. 3 out of the last 4 times she has touched the ball from a hitting standpoint. It has been spot on, as that one will be served out of bounds.
Now serving for your Argylls, number 6.
So Lady Argylls staying in it here, down by 9, as we'll see number 6, Emma Brummett, back to serve. Orm with the dig, Stewart with the setup. Davis puts it down. She nails that baby home.
Into the game for your Argylls, number 18, Sadie Wilson.
In comes Cameron Curring for Allison Stewart.
Serving number 9, Mallory Summers.
So Summers to serve with Wapahani up by 10. Also in here will be number 18, Sadie Wilson for Madison Grant. Butcher sets it over the net. In there for a point, we'll see number 13, Carly Bramble, back in here. Set to Curry, using the old left hand. Back that time to Stewart. Maya Stewart there of Madison Grant, as Curry will hit that one out of bounds. And now again the lead stands at 8. Gates with a dig. And trying to just tip over that there was Summers, but it was blocked right back down at her. The cat-like reaction, unfortunately, didn't work out too well for us. Skimmed over the top of the net, in there for an ace for Bramwell. So now the lead is at 6. Summers will set it up to Davis. Dug out that time by Bramwell. On the attack, Geringer, and Gates won't get there in time. So Madison Grant again hanging in there and is now inching that much closer. Schuck will dig it. Orm will set it up. And Davis will just tip it on over the net. Geringer back again. Here we go. Summers with a setup to Curry. Bramble will dig it out. Butcher tips it across. Schuck back on the attack again and hit out of bounds. And now the lead is dwindled down to 4. This thing became a whole lot more interesting rather quickly. And a timeout here by Wapahani. We'll go ahead and stay right here with you during the timeout. Again, this will be our Jones Auto Body game break. I'd like to thank Jones Auto Body here this evening, owned by J.R. Fannin. They're located at 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they've been servicing the community for over 30 years. So if you have any questions or need them to take a look at your vehicle, contact them at 765-284-2593. Again, that is Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality. Also to the barn lot located at 2410 East County Road 300 South, just off of State Road 67 in Muncie, Indiana. Scott Quirk is the man to supply all of your outside needs. They have barns, sheds, garages, carports, gazebos, play sets for the kids, and more. For more information, call Scott Quirk at 765-744-7396. And also visit his online website at www.thebarnlotsheds.com. So back out of the timeout here. It's a 3-point ball game, now a 4-point ball game. That could potentially be a momentum killer, because Madison Grant was able to rattle off right around, 7 points in a row. And now it appears that the mistakes are starting to come back to haunt the Lady Argylls here. There we go right here. Set to Davis, bringing the hammer. So 22-16 Wapahani. Geringer got it blocked. There's Summers. Set this time to Orm. Dug out there, and the referee just got a little action up there with volleyball. I'm sure that was a little more than what he bargained for. He's just here to call the game, not to be a part of it. From a playing aspect, I guess. 24-16. Set point here. Emma Shuck still back here to serve for the Raiders. Set up, tipped over. There's Owen with the dig. Summers with the setup to Curry. Oh, just out of bounds. Very close. Still a good shot. Just want to maybe get on top of that just a little bit more. Olivia Smith back in for Emma Shuck. And Geringer to serve. Summers will get it over there. And there's Orm as she'll get that one into the net. (24-18). Gates, Summers, Curry, yes. Raiders take it here in the first set here this evening, folks. 25-18 as they now own a 1-0 lead over the Lady Argylls. We'll step aside here for a commercial break. We'll be back with a second set of Lady Raider Volleyball coming up right here on the WHS Network. Alrighty, welcome back here, folks, as we are about to begin set number 2 of the evening. Again, I would like to thank all of you for joining us here this evening for Wapahani Lady Raider Volleyball. Again, a strong start here to the ball game, 25-18 first set victory over Madison. Grant, as we look forward to this second set here, would like to see us, once we get up in the game, we need to put it on them there. Madison Grant had a pretty lengthy stretch of points. Like I said, I think they end up having 7 points in a row. It was up 19-9 on them. And they went on a 7-0 run, made it 19-16. Luckily, we was able to finish out that first set pretty good and end up going on to a 25-18 first set victory. So the buzzer sounded, and we're ready to get things going here at set number 2.
Leading off serving for Wapahani, number 4, Haven Gates.
So Haven Gates will be back here to serve for Wapahani. And an ace to begin things, so a great way to start things out here for Wapahani. Dug out that time, set to number 3, Stewart. Nice dig. Gates will keep it alive, and Summers will get it back across. A little free volley here. Gehringer on the attack, and nobody there, and this game is now tied at 1. Back in comes Carly Bramble for the Argylls. She will come in for number 12, Keela Comer. Orm will dig it out. Set up by Stewart to Davis. Nice job of keeping it alive. And 4 hits.
Now serving for Wapahani, number 9.
So a little bit of a dispute here. They're trying to say that wasn't 4 hits. So I guess that dispute didn't work out too well, but an ace nonetheless for Mallory Summers, as it's now a 3-1 Raider lead in set number 2. Lost the ball there for a brief moment in time. Skipped over the top of the net, and another ace for Mallory Summers. And again, you're able to get off to a good start here. Got to keep the foot on the gas. Don't allow Madison Grant to generate any kind of momentum, as that one will land in there for, I think that was number 3, Maya Stewart on the attack.
Katie Gehringer.
So Katie Gehringer now back to serve. And an ace for Gehringer. Might not be too bad of an idea to potentially close those doors down on the other side of the court. Ball keeps going out in the hallway and rolling around a little too far. And somehow Wapahani able to keep it going. Back on the attack and blocked. You've got to be kidding me. Blocked off of her head, and the ball goes back on the other side to land in for a point. That's something you don't see every day. Right on. There we go. Davis on the attack. Now that is something we see every day. Estella Davis with the kill. So Emma Shuck now back to serve. The Raiders up by 1, 5-4 here in set number 2. Butcher sets it up there to Stewart, and great placement on the court as we see Smith back in action for Shuck. And Mia Stewart back to serve. And Orm will get it back across here. Little free volley here. Not a very good set. Oh my goodness. Gates with the layout. Summers will set it to Orm. And they're going to call 4 hits on that. I thought we might have actually tipped that, but I'm glad I was wrong. Brewer back into the Raider lineup. Davis back there to serve. Gehringer with a dig. Butcher will set it up to Gehringer. Got to use this one here. Summers sets it up to Brewer for the kill. (7-5) Wapahani. Nice serve there from Estella. Summers with a setup again to Orm. Handled by Bramble, and she will get it back over. Set up this time now to Stewart. Mia Stewart will dig that one out, and Smith won't get there in time. Number 15, Luger with the kill. As it's back to a 1-point ball game. Number 12, Comer back in. And number 5, Brooke Butcher back to serve. That's going to head on out of bounds. So serving error for the Argylls, now 8-6. Stewart back to serve. That will be dug out there. Very close. Goodness gracious. So the ball had a rather decent trajectory there. Unfortunately, it went off the speaker. So went back down on our side, and things went badly from there. Summers on the attack, and that will get us back on top here by 2. Shuck will return to action for Smith, and Orm to serve. Butcher will set it up. Gehringer on the attack. Summers will lay out for it. Gates will keep it alive, and Summers back over. Here we go. Butcher to Gehringer once more. Summers back on the attack, and that will land in there. Gates with a setup to Mallory. Summers laying out for that one was Stewart. Orm digs that one out. You'll love the hustle there by Haven Gates, but unable to get to it to make it a 10-8 ball game. Again, if you are just now joining us, Wapahani took set number 1 of the evening, 25-18. And they're already up 10-8 here in set number 2. Orm will dig it out. Stewart will set it up. Summers, but that will be blocked. Now Brewer on the attack. And again, Mallory Summers with perfection, tipping the ball right back down on the court. Great court vision. Davis back in for Brewer. Gates back to serve. That will be dug out that time. Butcher to send it back up there to Stewart, and Shuck unable to stretch the arms out long enough as Bramble will return for the Argylls. Wapahani again with a 2-point lead as we get closer and closer to that halfway mark in the second set. And that was just chalk that one up for a miscommunication by Madison Grant. But a fine hit from Mallory. Service error.
Now serving for your Argylls, number 9.
And now back to serve will be number 9, Katie Gehringer. Quick reaction. Unfortunately, the ball hit right into the net by Estella Davis. Pretty good serve there by Gehringer. Orm will dig it out. Summers goes all the way across court. And 4 hits called on the Raiders.
Point Argylls.
Set to Davis. Kept alive there by Gehringer, but after that, number 10, Wilson, couldn't get there in time.
Now serving for Wapahani, number 11, Emma Shuck.
So Emma Shuck now back to serve with Wapahani up by 1. And that will be an ace for Emma Shuck. Butcher sets it over the net. Defense didn't pick that one up. Falls into play there for a point, as we'll see number 6, Brummett back in for Madison Grant. And Smith back in for Wapahani. Mia Stewart back to serve. Gates with the dig. Summers is trying to set it up, but very close to the net right there. Really about all she could do right there. Unfortunately, was called with the 2 hits, but still not a whole lot that Summers could have done with that pass. Davis on the attack, again with another kill. She continues. Nice game for herself. Brewer back into the Raider lineup. Davis with an ace. Set up that time around to Luger.
Luger with the kill. Side on Argylls. Into the game for the Argylls,
Number 12, Kayla Comer back in here for Madison Grant. Brooke Butcher back to serve. There's Gates Summers with a setup to Brewer. And mishandled there, but Butcher really saved her teammate as that one was hit out of bounds by number 15, McKenna Luger. As again, Wapahani leads this one by 2. And that one will be served into the net. So again, we've seen a lot more of this back and forth here in the second set. Not so much in the first set. It was majority Wapahani, and then Madison Grant went on a nice 7-0 run. And then Wapahani with some more great play to end the set. So really not a whole lot of back and forth. Now this second set has been nothing but back and forth. One team might go on a 3 or 4 point run, but really outside of that, it's been 1 point for another.
Into the game for Wapahani, number 11, Emma Shuck.
So Emma Shuck back in for Olivia Smith. Sarah Orm back to serve. And shanked off to the right, and that will be in there for an ace for Sarah Orm. Subbing in here being number 2, Morgan Conlon. Nice serve again from Orm. Gehringer on the attack, dug out by Gates. Stewart with a setup to Summers, and I guess Orm thought that was her ball on that one. So a brief miscommunication. Luckily, it didn't turn out in a point for Madison Grant. Bad set there. Tipped over by Brewer, and somehow was able to get that one to fall in. And a timeout now by Madison Grant. The Raiders expand their lead to 4. We'll step aside and we'll be back with more right after the timeout. Welcome back out of the timeout there, folks. Again, this is Brandon Morvillius. Alongside with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. A 20-16 lead here in set number 2 for your Wapahani Lady Raiders. Already a 1-0 lead as a 4-hit call on them. Will now expand that lead to 5 as we'll see number 18, Sadie Wilson, back in for the Argylls. Sarah Orm still back to serve. We've finally seen Wapahani go on a little bit of a run and didn't even get the words out of the mouth as we serve that one into the net. I'll take partial blame for that. They must have already known what I was going to say before I said it. Orm with the dig. Stewart runs over there to get to that one, and Shuck will get it back across. Dug there by Luger, set to Stewart. Orm lays out for that one. You love the hustle there by Orm and Shuck, but unfortunately the Raiders couldn't get it back over. So Brummett back to serve as they are down by 3. Set this time to Emma Shuck. There's Butcher. Set that time to Geringer. Blocked out of bounds by the Raiders. So what was a 5-point lead now stands at 2. Got a close one on our hands. And now that is an ace, and now it's a 1-point lead for Wapahani. Skimmed over the top of the net. Stewart with the setup to Shuck. Yes! Big time point there for the Raiders. Really needed that one, as we'll see Estella Davis return to the lineup for Wapahani. Haven Gates will be back to serve, and boy, oh boy, it'd be nice to go on a nice little 3-0 run right here to end this one. Stewart with a setup to Summers and out of bounds. So number 13, Carly Bramble back in. Stewart with a setup to Estella Davis. Absolutely hammered that one.
Now serving for Wapahani, number 9, Mallory Summers.
23-21 now, 2 points away from the old magic number, as long as you win by 2. Stewart on the attack there. Orm will dig it out, and Gates will get there in time. Very dangerous right there. Madison Grant somehow gets it back over. There's Davis. There we go again, round 2. Tipped over, and that time, hey, the third time's a charm. Round 3 goes to Estella Davis. 24-21. With now Mallory Summers back to serve. Good job there, somehow getting it back over. Summers will set it up to Stewart. Blocked and out of bounds, and the Raiders will survive set number 2 of the evening, 25-21. So they now take a 2-set-to-none lead over Madison Grant. We'll step aside here for a commercial break, and we will be back here with more Lady Raider Volleyball right after this brief message.
Stop on in at Jones Auto Body, owned by J.R. Payne in the 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they have been serving the community for over 30 years. Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality.
Alrighty, welcome back here, folks. Again, Brandon Morvillius. Alongside with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. I'd like to thank some more of our sponsors here this evening. University Avenue Dental, Greg Pyle, DDS. Greg, along with the rest of his talented dentistry crew, look to solving your unrecognized dental needs with a viable patient experience, outstanding treatment, and that cutting-edge dentistry. University Avenue Dental is located at 800 West University Avenue in Muncie, Indiana. Their hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Also to the Liberty Perry Alumni Association, President Richard Morris. The Liberty Perry Alumni Association serves as the Wapahani Center and Selma High School alumni. Make sure to visit their online website at www.libertyperryalumni.com to get information on any events and to purchase any Wapahani related items on their web store. Also to purchase any engraved bricks for the alumni brick walkway out there at Wapahani, you can simply fill out a form, which is on the homepage of the alumni website. And also for any other questions or information that you're looking for, you can contact Richard Morris on Facebook. And so greatly appreciate the Liberty Perry Alumni Association. So we'll get back at it here just a moment here with set number 3. Again, Wapahani took the first 2 sets. So we're hoping that we get back to what we was doing in set number 1. Set number 2, it wasn't necessarily that we played bad. It was just so much of this back and forth action, and you know, hopefully, you know, we start, you know, really pushing the Argylls to the brink of elimination. Now, hopefully, we're able to come out here and put forth a great game plan in set number 3. As the Argylls will start off with the first point of the night for an ace. Number 6, Emma Brummett. That will be dug out there. Set to Davis and blocked. And then there for a point for Madison Grant. Now 2-0. Stewart with a dig. Stewart with a setup. Yep, that's the Stewart sisters.
Stewart and Stewart.
Yeah, that was pretty good one there, Redbeard. Stewart and Stewart. There we go. Tipped over the net by a shot. Emily Stewart to Allison Stewart to Estella Davis. And it's going to be all underneath the net there. Number 2, Morgan Conliffe. It's now a 2-1 ball game. Sarah Orm back to action here for Emily Stewart.
Serving number 9, Mallory Summers.
So Mallory Summers to serve. Blocked by Estella Davis, bringing the stuffing to the party. Nice little floater serve from Mallory. Set this time to Geringer. There's Gates, Summers, Stewart. Better believe it. Works like a charm.
Stewart with the field, Frank Rangers.
Chipped over the net that time by Maya Stewart. Maya. I think it might be Mia.
I'd go with Mia. Get MIA. She's going with me.
Nice hands there by Summers. Set to Davis. Now tipped over the net. Summers there with the quick hands. Set to Shuck. Blocked again. Nice quick reactions. That's what you got to have. Back over here to Stewart once again. Set over the net and out of bounds by Summers. Not a bad idea. Just unfortunately wasn't executed in the proper manner. But hey, this is what it is. Hopefully she'll get it next time around. Still a pretty good idea. Especially just to change it up to where you're throwing the defense off balance a little bit. Gates this time with the setup to Allison Stewart. Hit into the net there, and we're tied at 4.
And to the net, point Argylls.
One with the dig, Summers to Davis. Good job there by Bramwell to get to that one and hit well out of bounds by Gehringer. We will take that point. So Emma Shuck now back to serve. A 5-4 lead. Hit over the net there by Butcher. Here's Summers to Davis again. Works to perfection. Yes, 6-4 Wapahani.
Into the game for your Argylls, number 7, Grace Holmberg.
They had to find the ball again. Went out in the hallway, so took a second. Here we're back to action. Emma Shuck back to serve. A good serve there by Emma, mistimed as the Argylls will cost themselves a point there. Now 7 for them. Got to keep the ball rolling. Let's keep the foot on the gas. Nice little floater serve from Emma that time. Gehringer hits that one into the net. Got to keep pushing forward here. You got some momentum here on your side. Got to keep it going. Another brief pause in the action there. Assistant coach Jenna Eastham there had to handle a Band-Aid issue. Alrighty. Got multiple things going out here on the court tonight. So a lift called. I'm sure if it wouldn't have been called a lift, it definitely would have been 4 hits. 4 hits, 10 hits. Whatever it might have been. Mishandled there, but saved by Butcher. Blocked by Davis. So a block party is starting to get heated up here. As number 4, Mallory Stanley, will now re-enter the game here for Madison Grant. Blocked again, this time by Sarah Orm. Tell you what, that floater serve is really keeping the defense off balance here. It's like they don't even know what to do. And changing it up, and another ace. So you just had the floater, now you had the missile. Now it's time to bring back the floater again. All right, she brings back the hard stuff. Gates lays out for that one. Orm will set it up to Davis. Bramwell, Butcher, blocked. Propped up in the air, just enough there for Stewart to get it over. Gates again with another dig. Set to Stewart. And hit the line judge. I guarantee you he did not sign up for that one.
Now serving for your Argylls, number 9, Katie Gehringer.
Oh, Smith with the dig. Set to Orm and hit into the net, 12-6.
Point Argylls.
You know, track, the trains are rolling through.
Summers sets that one up for Stewart.
Now serving for the Raiders, number 6, Estella Davis.
So Cadence Brewer back into the Raider lineup. Stella Davis was back there to serve. And hit out of bounds by Luger. Set over the net there and miss hit. The Raiders will hit that one backwards.
Into the game for your Argylls, number 6, Emma Brummett. Now serving, number 3.
Brummett back in for the Argylls. Back to serve will be Mia Stewart.
Stewart with the ace. Point Argylls.
Gates with the dig. Summers with a setup. Brewer dug out that time by Geringer as Bramble will get it back across. About all you could do with that. It was kind of a line drive pass by Olivia Smith. And Summers just used the old left hand. Tipped it right on over. 15-8 Wapahani. There's another near ace and hit out of bounds again by Madison Grant. So we're hoping that you all are still with us here. Hopefully all of you haven't gotten too seasick quite yet. We're hoping this might be the last set of it. Again, we do apologize for that, but for the setup we got, that's about all we can provide you. But a 16-9 lead here for the Raiders. Here comes Summers on the attack, and that's going to be hit into the stands. A little souvenir for that lucky fan over there. That was shot back in for Olivia Smith. And Sarah Orm will be back to serve. Mishandled, but again saved by Butcher. I'll tell you what, she has saved quite a few of her teammates here tonight on some of these passes, as that will be 2 hits called on the Raiders. 17-10 as Emily Stewart will return to action for Sarah Orm.
Into the game for your Argylls, number 9.
Here comes Geringer back in for Sadie Wilson. Gates with a dig, set to Summers, tips it over and in. 18-10 Wapahani. Estella Davis returns here for Brewer. Haven Gates now back to serve. And that probably would have been out of bounds. Tipped over by Davis. Here we go again. And Summers bringing the hammer. She nailed that one home. Geringer tips it over. Nothing really to follow that one with. And a timeout taken by the Argylls. 19-11. We'll stick right here with you during the timeout. I'd like to thank another one of our sponsors here, B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, located at 400 East Jackson Street in Muncie, Indiana. At the law offices of B. Joseph Davis, which is a highly recommended and respected professional corporation. They strive to aggressively represent all their clients' interests in all phases of any legal matter. Their team has extensive experience in personal injury, criminal defense, which also includes drunk driving, criminal record, as well as bankruptcy expungements and hardship licenses. For more information, visit his website at www.bjosephdavis.com. So back out of the timeout here. Again, Wapahani with a 19-11 lead here in set number 3. Again, a 2-0 lead. 25-18, 25-21. Really not been a whole lot of messing around here in set number 3, which hopefully it continues to be like that. We need to keep the metal to the pedal. Stewart on the attack there. Stewart with the dig. Set to Davis and dug out by, I think that might have been Butcher. Butcher again. Tipped across by Brummett. Wow. Wapahani got it in. It went off of the player. Number 6, Emma Brummett. Holy Moses. That was a great job of Wapahani just staying with the ball. I mean, you had so much action going on in a very small space. Somehow, Summers was able to get it over and went off of Brummett's back as that one was set over the net. Now a 20-12 ball game as number 13, Carly Bramwell, returns to action, and she'll be back to serve for the Argylls. Stewart with a dig, Summers with a setup, Shuck puts it across as number 1, Turner, will push it over. Tipped over by Davis. Stewart back on the attack. There's Gates. Summers will set it over there in the back row. Nice hustle by Bramwell as that is hit out of bounds by Turner, and the Raiders now with a 7-point lead as we edge closer and closer to a straight set victory here. Number 8, Tori Hyatt, now in the ball game, seeing her first action of the night for Madison Grant. Sarah Orm back to serve there. And hit out of bounds. Couldn't have missed by a whole lot. In comes Olivia Smith.
Into the game for Wapahani, number 16, Olivia Smith. Into the game for your Argylls, number 9, Katie Gary.
Summers with a setup to Allison Stewart. Kill for Allison there, 22-15. Brewer in here for the Raiders. Davis back to serve, and in comes Sadie Wilson for the Lady Argylls. Dug that time by Wilson. Hit over by Luger. Here's Smith. Set to Orm. And in there. Sneaks it in that back corner. As the Raiders are now 2 points away. Again, we will not have a post-game report here this evening, folks. We have got to get things cleaned up and get out to the bus to head back to Wapahani. So we do apologize for that. But again, no post-game report here this evening. Set to Allison Stewart, and that's going to be 4 hits.
4 hits, side out Argylls. Now serving for your Argylls, number 3, Mia Stewart.
All right, so they had to make sure that the lineup was correct. Summers will set it, and that's going to be a net violation on the Raiders. Haven't had too many of those tonight from either team. That might have been maybe the first or second one of the night. And mishandled that time. And it's going to be another ace for Mia Stewart, 23-18. Set up to Allison Stewart, and another one hit out of bounds. So this is really starting to get way too close, to be quite honest with you. Just got to put them away. So serving error there. Here we are, game point. Allison Stewart back to serve. Just finish it right here. Be dug out. Butcher keeps it alive. Gates, Stewart, Summers. Yes. Game over. 25-19. The Raiders win set number 3. Overall, here we'll take a look at the line scores. Here's the Wapahani Lady Raiders take down the Madison Great Lady Argylls 25-18, 25-21, 25-19. Now improved to 11-2 on the season. They'll be back at it tomorrow night, folks. We'll have it live right here on the WHS Network. More MEC conference action as we welcome the Randolph Southern Lady Rebels to Raider Gymnasium. Special thanks to all of our sponsors: Jones Auto Body, Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC Dealership, University Avenue Dental, Greg Pyle DDS, B. Joseph Davis, Attorney at Law, Muncie Dragway, FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook and Joanne Davis, Tom Cherry Mufflers, The Barn Lot, Liberty Perry Alumni Association. Also a huge thanks to Harris Chapel Church. So, folks, once again, thanks for joining us here this evening. This has been Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. Thanking all of you for watching. Have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow night right back here live on the WHS Network.